Hey Simmers, my name's Erin, I play The Sims, and today you are watching the next chapter of Let's Build a Story. We are working on the BFFs household. Last episode, we went ahead and did the exterior and got us into this backyard a little bit. I know that Blondie is going to absolutely love this. We've got a little workstation for Liberty. We've got a cheapy little bar area for the others, college kids and all. And we did this front porch area. Nothing too spectacular, nothing too big. These kids are just renting this place out until university is over, and then they will move on to bigger and better things. Today, guys, we are moving past the exterior and into the first room of the exterior. This is a combined kitchen and living room. As you can see, we have a nice big space for the living room that I'm going to have a little bit of a challenge filling, and we actually don't have too shabby of a kitchen either. This was Mama Laveau's home that she raised her daughters in, so the kitchen appliances, I think, are going to be a little bit upgraded. We're not going as rustic as we would have in Mama Laveau's house. We may also, we'll see how we feel, get to the laundry room and the bathroom today, but we shall see. First and foremost, let's put our walls up. I love how big this room is because I can build with walls up and not have walls interfering at all with my shot, which is lovely. I've pulled out for the great room some Parenthood wallpaper, and for the kitchen, I've gone ahead with this tile. I like this color. I think it brightens it up quite a bit. We've also got some tile on the floor here. That's just base game. Along with this base game hardwood floor. Ooh, hardwood floor. There we go. So what I'm going to do is lean a little heavier on get together. Growing together and parenthood, I think, for this build. Because again, this was a family home and this does house more than one sim. So I think those packs work super well for that. So for this time, I'm just going to be outlining the counters, the island pieces, where all of our appliances are going to go, just to give me a good idea of what we're working with. Let's get rid of that actually. And I think I'll put in the matching counters. I do want this to be, should we go out there? I think we should. I do want this to be a corner piece, and I think we'll end with this one. Yes, perfect. I'm also going to be pulling out a fridge. I'm wondering which fridge I chose. Okay, and I actually made this an end piece. Now the appliances are nice, but they're not going to be something like super updated. So I think that this was at one point would have been considered, pretty standard, but it's a little dated. It's still nice. It still works well. Mama Laveau is a good landlord to these kids and would never take advantage of them, but she's, she doesn't live here, right? So she's not going to be meticulously updating everything if it works. So let's give them just a few overhead matching cabinets. I think that is going to be super pretty. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, okay. So I actually reduced that kitchen size by 1 square. All right, good to know. So my reference image that I made, because I pre-built almost all the builds that we're going to be doing in this series, because like I said, I need a script. I don't need a script, but if I've already built it before, it's helpful to have reminders for me. So if I'm looking off screen, it's at the stuff that I have pre-built, already built. Stove is right here. So let me grab that. Yes, the Cooking U Pro. All of these, the appliances are going to be base game. So if you do download this save file, you don't have Parenthood, you're going to have to replace the cabinetry, but they would be pretty interchangeable with really anything, any vibe that you would be going for. And I do believe that I used this Parenthood sink. I remember when this very first came out, it was the first kind of sink that we had that was sort of like built in, had that nice white around it. And I was so excited for this sink because I was like, this looks so much more realistic than putting like this on top of something that has drawers in it. So it happens, definitely. Like these can be like little abbreviated drawers, like they don't go back very far, but I was so stoked for this. I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so real. All right, so we've got all the appliances in here. Let's move on to these My First Pet stuff. Curtains. These are the star of the pack, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Actually, there's quite a few pieces that I like. Like I said, I love colorful pieces. So duh, of course I would like that. But I actually don't think it's a terrible pack. I think it was marketed very poorly. I don't think that they quite understood what they were doing. Well, they had to have understood what they were doing with the community, but they have, I think, more respect for it now. And we also need a hood. Should we go with this one? That is so modern. I don't think Mama Laveau would have gone for that in her original. And this is very Tuscan to me. Yeah, I think this is probably the best one. Ooh, maybe I'll do it in a brown. Oh, I like that. That's a lot homier. I quite like that. Now, as far as bar stools go, I don't think that Mama would have left hers. I think that if Mama had any bar stools, she would have sold them. So I think that the BFFs would have brought in their own. These are so cute and they match so well. I almost don't want to use them because of that. Ooh, maybe they brought in these ones for rent, in the for rent pack. I think that they could have easily thrift stored these. Like maybe they found them in a set and was like, that's perfect. They match together. They don't have to be super good quality. It's fine. Nope, we're going for the ones from Dogs and Cats, or Cats and Dogs. And I am just staggering these. This is something that I do quite a lot to my builds to give them kind of character, you know? This would have been a set, probably these two matched, and they just found them on like whatever the Sims version of Craigslist is. These two could have been thrifted. It's a very common style to have in homes. And they were like, yeah, no, that's fine. They just haven't gotten around to painting them because, again, they're very busy college students. I know that this house was kind of set up as a party house before. I mentioned that in my last video. And I don't think I'm ready to go on to the living room quite yet. We still have some decorating and stuff to do in here. I mentioned it in my last video that I didn't get the vibes that they were a party house. I think that this is a household full of very intelligent, hardworking Sims. And it's not to say that Sims that party or people that party aren't hardworking, but these Sims have worked very, very hard on their freshman year, on their sophomore year. Who knows? Maybe oh, I love that this is a pit bull. Maybe as their college career progresses, they get a little bit less studious, but for right now, they're just trying to get through it. They're trying to adjust to college workload, college life. I think I like these better. I like that these are here for Blondie and for Angela. They're cheap ways to show their pets that they love them, and I think they absolutely do. Speaking of pets, you guys, as I am decorating this place, I know that Liberty has a pet. She has Angela. I know that Summer has a pet. She has Blondie. What do you guys think for Travis? I didn't know if maybe he was so consumed in his studies because he is a computer science major. I would imagine he has a ton of homework. I also get the impression that he's like a streamer. So I felt like he had a very full schedule. So I felt like he was a streamer and would have like in his off time, and so wouldn't have as much time for a pet. So if anything, I thought of that like my first pet stuff, like the hamster or a rat or something like that. But you guys let me know down in the comments. College is a really common time when you have your own place to really get your feet wet with pet ownership. You start to really get your independent feet under you, and I can imagine, you know what, let's move these actually. I want the dish drying rack over here. Same with maybe the paper towel rack can go over here, but this is going to be for cooking specifically. But anyways, especially like rescuing a pet, because it's not as expensive as getting it from a breeder. And I think you become a lot more socially aware as a young adult in college. And when you have a lady down the street who is who's feeding all the cats and such, who knows, like maybe that would be more, I don't want to say tempting, but maybe that would be an easier transition for Travis to make. I don't think that Travis is as close to Mama Laveau as Liberty is. Liberty is there like literally all the time. When she's not hanging out with her housemates, not at school, she's with Mama Laveau. Ooh, we're bringing out the home chef hustle for Summer. Summer is definitely into cooking, into baking, a Sim who is very aware of what she puts in her body. And I think one of the ways that she really invests in her friends is by cooking for them. Maybe we can take this out and I'll get like the wall one. because we certainly need knives. Knives need to happen. But I think that she enjoys cooking when she gets the opportunity to. She also would have to cook for her class. For her major, her cooking skill would have to go up. So I gave her this little cookbook. Ooh, you know what? They also need a dishwasher. Not the best that we have in the game, but I do think that Mama probably would have had a dishwasher when she had 2 girls to keep up with. I think that these kids, that probably would have been a selling point for them for renting this place before they knew Mama Lovo personally. So before signing the lease, they were like, oh my gosh, dishwasher, gotta have it. Coffee is also going to be a big deal in this house. We don't have any free counter space here, but no worries. You've got a whole lot of food prep space over here. I want to make sure it's nice and balanced. And because this is a college house, the decorations are going to be sparse. Like really anything that's decorative also has to be functional. They just don't have a whole lot of extra simoleons to spend on things that don't work for them. Like Summer's parents, I think, are probably the most well-to-do, but even they don't get her everything she wants. Now we have a nice little bit of space to play with here. I'm actually kind of torn. I had done the Growing Together couch before, but this is kind of cute. Like it's old-timey. It's kind of 70s-ish, but the little pillows could be something that they thrifted. I love the throws on this. Now, the lived-in sofa is cheaper, but I think the riveting on this is just so new. Maybe it would have been one of the kids' like parents' old sofas that they were able to do, but I don't know. This one just seems more believable to me. So I'm going to do this one from Paranormal. And I like this. I like the front swatch, so I'm going to keep it there. Now, because I love matching or like matching themes, I would love to do the Paranormal love seats, and I think we can probably do one, but we have to fit this from Basement Treasures in the best seat in the house. The little armchair, I think that that's actually so cute. Like, I don't know, maybe Travis brought this in from his parents. Maybe they went thrifting. I don't know, but like not everything matches and that's okay. Like these two match because they were from the same set and they were from someone's like put together parents. Like they've been established. They bought these in the 90s when it was cute to redo the 70s stuff. And then after that, they've updated and were like, hey, come get the couch out of storage. You can keep it. They've got a little table that you walk by, put your stuff down in. We're fine there. I do want a coffee table for them as well. I like the idea that this little hallway table and the coffee table were bought at a garage sale together. Like they were a set at one point. Maybe they had side tables, but the owner just doesn't have them anymore. I love this side table from Growing Together. I think that they would probably put it over here to keep it from like interfering too much with the sunlight. Because if I put it over here, it would just reflect. And while we're here, why don't we grab this little TV cabinet? Pardon me. I do quite like that. I love that this doesn't match. That makes me actually really happy. Speaking of matching, there is a set of rugs from Base Game that I love because they come in so many different sizes and shapes. I wish they would do more of this, but you know, these kids went to some big box store and needed like a durable rug that wasn't going to show too much or could easily be vacuumed up. And they just threw this down. Same with the little door rug, just to wipe your feet, little doormat. Now I'm going to head on over to Laundry Day for our next item. I think I'm going to pull out this little coat tree or this like little bench coat tree kind of thing. I think that this is actually a really good item to have for them right next to the door. Oh, I think I'll put it here. Did I get rid of this? I feel like I did. Yeah, I did, but I'm going to leave the window here. I'm going to bring out the Pritchett coat rack, shove her right here. I know we already have one, but it's, you know, it's never a bad idea to have more. So let's put out some shoes. Wonderful. Just more stuff to be able to, like a catch-all area, kind of. Let's grab this hallway table and plop a mirror up. You know, definitely to like check yourself before you walk out the door. I also want this hooked on storage from the Everyday Clutter Kit. Ooh, let's scoot you over. Scoot you that way. Wonderful. Over here may not be a bad place for the dog food, or the pet food. I guess that this would feed both the cat and the dog in here, plus any animals that you think Travis would have. Both of the current animals are girls, and I think that Summer probably would have been the one getting them this like cute little auto feeder. So this has Summer written all over it as far as I'm concerned. Let's pop that out for Blondie. And I think Liberty would have got this one in green for her Angela. Perfect, lovely. This could be an area if we wanted to. For Travis's little buddy, if we did want him to have a caged animal. If not, then I can easily put a cat tree here. I will let you guys decide. So tell me what you envision for Travis. Is Travis a dog guy? Is Travis a cat guy? Is Travis a small animals, like caged animals guy? I don't like the way this looks. Let's see if I can mess with it a little. Oh, I like that better. I know it doesn't make as much sense with the flow of everything, but that's fine for me. So yeah, you guys let me know what you see for Travis. I love that all of these match. You know what? I forgot about a rug in the kitchen. Right in front of the sink where you stand and might get some floors wet. Now, as far as TVs go, these guys don't have the most money. But again, I think that they would be looking at family members' stuff, that they let them go to college with. This is very dark in this corner. We can fix that with lights. I can put in lamps and stuff, which I think I'm going to be doing now, but not before we do the curtains. Along with this big box store that they went to get the rugs in the house, I think they would have also picked up some curtains just to have hung everywhere. You know, it just feels like a homey thing to do. No, this is not going to be their forever home, but they're going to live here till they graduate. Ideally the next 3 years, unless somebody has a falling out or a row or something like that. So they want to make it feel as much like home as possible. I would have loved to have gotten like a little dinette in here, but I don't think this is how they would use the space. I want to make sure that there is enough floor space for like their presentation projects, things like that. Okay, so this is coming along, if it isn't a little bit sparse. Let's take a look at a good bookcase, or a goodish bookcase for them. I don't know if I want to go with the Basement Treasures one, or if I want to knock it up a smidge, but honestly, I don't see anything that looks used enough for me to think it's believable. If that makes sense. Like, they're not utterly broke and destitute. They're just not at a point in their lives where they're really making a ton of money. And they have pets and like exams and books to pay for. Oh my gosh. And classes themselves. Like, I would imagine that somebody at least has a scholarship, but still, even with that, they don't want to tempt fate. They're trying to save, or they're trying to not spend as much money as possible. I don't think saving is a reality right now because they don't have a ton coming in. What if we did a little shelf up here? I don't know, just something like that. Oh, I want to get these up there, but from their schools, but the shelf isn't big enough. So, oh my goodness, this little slatted shelf works. It's maybe not, it doesn't match, but that's okay. This is from, I think the plant kit. Oh, that works. We can do that. Yes. Okay. So they've got some school pride. Wonderful. Speaking of that, I think we would probably have some flags kind of everywhere. You know, just a little friendly rivalry. Nothing too intense, you know? Because we do have a couple of schools represented between the three friends here. Oh my goodness, none of this matches. And I'm so happy because it fits with our story. If I was just making like a beautifully put together home and none of it matched, I would be driving myself bananas. Oh, I love this. Oh, this is like kind of their house stuff. It would be driving me up the wall, but because we have a story and this makes sense, I'm really loving that nothing matches, because of course it wouldn't. Not at this stage in their lives. I imagine that Liberty is, I don't want to say like first generation Samarican. I don't think Liberty is, but I think at least half of Liberty's lineage is, I imagine, the Sims version of Chinese. We don't have that in game yet. We do have Southeast Asian, which is lovely. That is a massive area, by the way. So good on the Sims team for trying to fit that in. But I think we definitely need more in-depth representation of Southeast Asia. And we do have Japanese culture represented, but we do not have Chinese culture represented. So I would like to think that this is sort of Liberty popping in some of her maybe distant heritage. And the reason that I think Liberty has some Chinese heritage is because of her last name, Lee. Now, Lees have traveled literally everywhere. It does not have to be Chinese, but I don't associate the last name Lee with Japan or Korea or Taiwan or anything like that. Okay, I think that's enough for the plants. Let's move on to some lighting. I think that this is for sure Summer's influence. You know what? No. Maybe this is Travis's corner, and Travis is like, listen, I like blues, I like browns, I like reds. He's got a lot of that. Oh my gosh. This belongs more in a bedroom, I think. I don't think they would bring that out here. You know what? This nice green swatch. Perfect. I quite like that. Maybe we can get into some Book Nook stuff over here. Ah, yes, the Book Nook kit. I think that's kind of cute. It's going to be kind of mashed from everybody's stuff. You've got 3 adults who are living together. Ooh, I like this better. Actually, I like this better. We're going to pop this in here. Maybe there's, they're broke. So not broke, but like they don't have money coming in. So they made decorations out of the books. And I think that a little candle next to some fake plants is more their vibe right now. No, they're not supposed to have open flames in the house, but nobody tells Mama Laveau. Mama Laveau's not going to notice. Everybody just remembers to put the candle away when she's over. Over on this little side table, they have bills. Like, they have unanswered mail. That's fine. This is like where everybody dumps that. We have some little change in Post-it notes. Absolutely. Where this all goes. This is what I imagine to be like a dumping ground for the house. Like, I think somebody is very invested in just keeping this the only dumping area. I have a feeling it's probably Summer. If I had to guess. We'll pop in this little lamp, just get some light over in this area. I can't move this up. Why? Fine. Let's just move this. Let's move it this way. I can move this up, so that's fine. Wonderful. Great. Should we also put a little bit of makeup over here, just, to touch up your face? And yeah, teeny bit of makeup. I decided to go for that, actually. We could put this little box up here. That's kind of cute. I want this to look very, very lived in. I want this to look not chaotic necessarily, but like the people who live here or the Sims that live here have very busy lives, because they very much do. They are full-time college kids. They are pet owners. They are renting, so they want to keep the place up. Alrighty, so I've just popped in another couple of things, or more than a couple, but I've changed some things around, changed some of the decorative items here. I do think that Summer would need some snacks to grab. I think the other housemates really appreciate that, honestly, to just stash. We've got some backpacks here. I don't know that this is where they're staying. They probably would be staying in their rooms. We just haven't got there yet. And then some bits and bobs and doodads up here. We do also need some cats and dogs mats, like just for under their food. It helps with the messy eating. Probably, let's be honest, more Blondie's messy eating than Angela's. Angela is a sleepy cat, little lazy cat. But much neater than Blondie is. Blondie is a little bit of chaos in a pup, which is perfect. I think absolutely perfect for Summer. Summer enjoys training her and going with her. Oh, this is looking so cute, you guys. And we honestly, we haven't had much for wall decor because, again, I think that all of their stuff would be more functional. At this point in their lives, they've just got to get their bases met. You know what it is when you're just setting up your life, right? I do think there is an opportunity here, though, for something, I don't know, a little more personal. Let's take the cats and dogs filter off. Thank you. This reminds me, those like art bins that they have where you can flip through in like Target, and they're just like little bits and bobs of affordable artwork. I think that that's what this is for them. So they've just got something stuck up here. Oh, you know what? I forgot almost forgot, a little toy chest. I do think that Blondie would be the pet that had the toy chest, but let's be honest, I think all of the roommates, all the BFFs enjoy buying the pets stuff. I think that that's a really fun side effect, I guess, if you will. I don't think that that's exactly the word that I want to use, of living with other folks. And like in Travis's case, even if he doesn't have his own pet yet, then he can benefit from the ownership of his roommate's pets, or from his roommate's ownership of pets. I think that he enjoys spending time both with Angela and with Blondie. Whether or not those would be the pets that he would personally choose to have in his home or on purpose meet, I think I'd want to leave this out. I don't want to leave it like in the middle of the floor, but that's literally my only option, so we're just gonna put it there. I am gonna get out a little mousy toy and a little birdie toy. It could be for either the cat or the dog. And yeah, you guys, I think we're done with this front room. I'll wait for your feedback on what we're going to do with this space here, whether it is a cat treat for Angela, whether it is a caged pet for Travis, what kind of animal Travis would have, if Travis would even bother with pet ownership with 2 pets already in the house. You guys let me know. Moving on to the laundry room. Now this is where it makes a whole lot of sense as far as like house being put together for it to be this small, but from a practical standpoint, as far as like filming, it's very frustrating. The 2 tile wide by 3 tile space is really hard to film anywhere other than top down. So if it's a little clunky and seems ugly way to film, I do apologize. So first and foremost, we're gonna get these guys a washer and dryer. I think one of you had commented that the only thing Mama Laveau's house was missing was somewhere to do laundry. Like that was something that you noticed a lot in builders. They don't always put in laundry. And I think a lot of this is because laundry as an idea is great. Laundry as a practical everyday lived things with your sim can be that can be tedious, and sometimes it doesn't work. If it just worked, that would be great. But it doesn't always. So I can see why they wouldn't always put it in. I just literally didn't have space, and thank goodness it's not a necessity. I just went without. But I do think, especially where there's families, or like if, you know, you're in university, you're balancing your class schedule with your social life. Maybe you have a job, maybe you have pets, maybe, you know, you have any other thing. Laundry is such a big part of that part of your life. Learning how to do it yourself. How do you prefer to wash certain things together? It's a very like discovering yourself kind of thing, rite of passage. So I couldn't not do it here, especially when you take into account that this house, I don't know if I want this built-in shelf or if I want to do one of these moments. I was going to say, especially when you take into account that this house is one that children were raised in. So obviously, Mama would have to have kept up on their laundry, and then when they were old enough, they would have had to take over, learn to do their own laundry. I think I quite like that, actually, so we're just going to leave it. We're going to leave it that way. Oh, I do like that. Not going to be too many decorations in here. I'm going to be very honest with you. We just don't have the space. It's cramped. I am going to put a little laundry basket in here, a little hack. If you can keep all your laundry baskets right next to your washer and dryer, that really condenses things down a lot instead of them going to every laundry basket all over the house to collect laundry to get stuff in. It can be a really nice space saving hack. So you only really need one, and it only really needs to be next to the washer and dryer. Would they have? I think they would. I think they would have an ironing board. Maybe Mama would have left this one. In fact, I think that that's probably what happened. Mama left this ironing board for them and was like, hey, good luck, kids. Laundry's not a thing for me anymore. Congratulations to her. Aw, cute. Okay, so that's really all she wrote in this room. Very, very quick, very, very short. Now we're going to move on to this bathroom. And I'm going back to my favorite pack, or one of my favorite packs, is the Parent Day pack. You guys, it was just, it filled so many holes at the time that we had. It expanded on things that it needed to. It really helped drive that parenthood experience home for me. I think we'll do a modern relief toilet. It's not the best toilet, but it's not the worst. This is a very like cool palette in here. It's very relaxing. You know, we've got some greens, some turquoises, some grays, some whites, you know, just a serene experience. Because not only do I have to consider the Sims that live here now, I have to consider the history of this place and where that came from. I'll pop these down in white for now, but I'm not convinced that they're gonna stay there, that this is the color that we're gonna be using them in. Just so that I know that they're there so I can play with them later. Okay. Can I? Oh no. Oh, camera angles, you guys. Okay, we're going to leave it here. We're going to leave it here. I do think we're going to do some above the toilet storage. I love that. That's very smart. I love that these towels slot in to this. I felt like that was new within the last year or two. Maybe it's always been that way, but I feel like when this came out, nothing really slotted to it unless you did bb.move objects and use the 9 key. You guys will have to call out for me if I'm right or not, or if I'm just misremembering. Gonna pop these up here. Let's put in this little creeping plant from Greenhouse Haven. I think that's super cute. What is this window doing? Okay, it's fine. We're fine. I don't think that I'm going to bother with curtains in here. It just doesn't need it. It's up so high. Maybe this would be there for ventilation as well, some natural lighting. So we're just not going to bother with the curtain. Now for our sink area, we're going to do our parenthood counters. I like this gray and black swatch. Actually, I wonder if this is gray and white. Or like black and white. I don't know. I think the black enters in like a nice welcome other color just to sort of break it up a little bit. I also like this parenthood mirror. I think that's super cute. Let's pop it in the gray and let's get a little gray storage counter up here. Can I move you? I can move you over. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm also wondering, no, this is the right one. Let's pop in another laundry basket because it never hurts. And when thinking about towel placement, I always think about how close it is to the shower. Sometimes I box myself in and I do this where I have the door like right up against the shower. I had to do it here because this is where the shower head is going, so I needed it to be along a wall. And I don't think I like the orientation with being so close to the window. So we're just gonna leave this be. But since I know that the shower is relatively close, the way that I do this is that I pop towels right over where they can be reached relatively quickly. We're also going to put some robes up behind. Again, I think that this would be Travis and Liberty's bathroom. Summer actually has the ensuite, so she doesn't really need this. So, all right, perfect. Not so matchy-matchy. That's the way that I like it. We've got another little bath mat in here. Now, I don't know. In my practice build, I have these in black. I might be able to do that, and they might have chosen that honestly because it's like, well, black, it's hard to see things that you spill on it or anything like that. Maybe it would be easier to keep clean or looking clean if they're just not pristine white or any other color. Plus, it would match a lot of things. So I think that they probably picked those up. All right, you guys. So we have our front room done. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. I love that I don't see really matching anywhere except like built-in stuff. I really don't see anything matching. Again, we're going to wait for you guys to see what you would prefer for Travis, whether this is a space that we use for the pets that are already here, whether we add additional pets, what those pets might be. I would love name suggestions if you guys do want a pet. Is this the wrong color? Nope, right color, just literally at different spots. That's fun. Got ourselves a little laundry room in here, and then here is the bathroom. You know, every house has to have one. But guys, thank you so much for decorating this. Ooh. You know what? Let's move that. Yes, perfect. That's so much better. So now I can say thank you guys for coming through with me while I build this. Come back next week. We are going to be moving on to Travis's room, plus whatever you guys have decided for his pet. So we'll do this area here, whether that's because he has a pet or because he doesn't, in his room. And we may move on to Liberty's room after that. We'll have to see. So I am very, very excited. We're going to get much, much more into the particularities of these Sims as we go into their rooms, because I think their rooms are going to tell a much better story than I could without that assistance. I will see you guys next time I stream or post. As always, happy simming.